Good morning everyone, my name is Lovely Aquino and I'm going to report the manner of articulation. But before we start our discussion, let's first have an activity, and this activity is called Fix Me. Let's first divide the class into two groups, and I'm going to give you scrambled letters and you should choose your representatives to fix this in the front, and also you should help your representative to fix this one. And the time duration to be given is only 1 minute. So let's start.
T minus 1 minute. T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 0.
So today I'm going to discuss the manner of articulation, and without further ado, let's proceed to the objectives. At the end of the discussion, students should understand the concept of the manner of articulation, define the manner of articulation in their own understanding, and also give the importance of each manner of articulation. The manner of articulation, the way of airstream is affected as it flows from the lungs and out the nose and mouth. Or it is the configuration interaction of the articulators when making a speech or sounds. Therefore, manner of articulation describes how different speech organs are involved in producing a constant sound. We have 8 different manners of articulation, and these are the following. First, nasal, created when you completely block air through your mouth and let the air pass through your nose. Therefore, nasal sounds are sounds that are released through your nose while air is blocked from the mouth by lowering the soft palate. Like M and N, your lower and upper mouth touches each other. That's where the M sounds is created. Number 2. Stop or plosive. Stop consonants occur when the vocal tract is closed completely, but for stops, the airflow is not redirected through the nose. Instead, the air quickly builds up pressure behind the articulators and then releases in a burst. So in stop or plosive, the speech organs are closed and the oral and nasal cavity completely closed, blocking off the airstream. And consonant sounds are sounds that are formed by completely stopping the airflow. For example, P and B, by closing your upper and lower lips, like p, p, b, b, p, p, b, b. By closing your upper and lower lip, that's where you create P and B sounds. On the other hand, the T and D sounds, you can create T and D sounds by touching your tongue to your upper teeth, like t, t, d, d. That's where you create T and D sounds. So let's now proceed to number 3, fricative. While nasal and stop consonants involve a complete blockage of the vocal tract, fricative sounds involve only a partial blockage of the vocal tract, so that air has to be forced through a narrow channel. Or fricative sounds are produced by partially blocking the air and allowing it partially to escape. For example, the consonant sounds like F, like fun. Your lower lip and upper teeth are blocking the air before you release the sounds. Like TH, think. When your upper teeth and the tip of your tongue touches each other, that's how you create TH sounds. Number 4. A fricative. When stop consonants start mixed with fricative consonants, the result is an affricative consonant. Start as stop sounds with air building up behind an articulator, which then releases through a narrow channel as a fricative instead of a clean burst as stops do. Affricative consonants are sounds that begin by fully stopping the air from leaving the vocal tract, then releasing it through a constructed opening. Consonant sounds produced by bringing the mouth into position to block the passage of the airstream, but not making complete closure so that air moving through the mouth generates audible friction. Like for example, joy, joy, and cheese. You're fully stopping the air through your tongue and your teeth before you release the sound.
Let's continue about the manner of articulation. So first is let's continue about the liquid. So in liquid, in phonetics, or is a consonant sound in which the tongue produces a partial closure in the mouth, resulting in a resonant vowel-like consonant. So for example is in English, for example is L. So English is you can pronounce in L, and so in ours liquids may be either or syllabic or non-syllabic. For another example, for example is I and E, they may sometimes like vowel act as the sound carrier in a syllable. So next is lateral. So in lateral phonetics, a consonant sound produced by raising the tip of the tongue against the roof of the mouth so that the airstream flows past one or both sides of the tongue. For example in the L sounds of English. So the L sounds which may be pronounced in English. So English for your name is, for example, is Welsh, and other languages are called lateral sounds. So lateral is also a consonant in which the airstream proceeds along both of the sides of the tongue. So but it is a black. So the tongue was black. So the letters will be blocked by tongue from going through the middle of the mouth. And for another example is the lateral consonant in English, as in Larry. So that's the examples of the lateral in manner of articulations. So next is the retroflex. So retroflex is in phonetics. So retroflex is a consonant sound produced with the tip of the tongue curled backward with the hard palate. For example is the S. So in S, S in Russian, for example, is the S is maybe sh. Example in pronounced for is s or z. For example, in Russian, English, and pleasure. So the sh, so maybe pronounced in pleasure. So maybe for is the sh will be pronounced as a zh for in Russian or in pleasure. So in such as retroflex, there are also many retroflex consonants in the language of India. So the retroflex will be especially in India. So the retroflex is mostly common use in India. So the next is the last is, which is the glides. So what is glides? So glides are those sounds that have vowels like qualities. They combine with the vowels and are almost always followed by a vowel. So they literally glide into the vowel sound when working on individual phonemes. We want to try to keep the vowel sounds from the end of the sounds production. For what are the examples of glides in phonetics and phonology, or in the manner of articulation, it's a semi-vowel. Glide or semi-consonant is a sound that is phonetically similar to a vowel sound but functions as the syllable boundary rather than as the nucleus of a syllable. For example, is semi-vowels in English are the consonants Y, Y, and W. For Y, maybe in word is in yes and west. For example, so that the examples of in the glides and and the semi-consonants for yes and west, especially also that respectively. So that's all for my report of manner of articulation. So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you for listening, everyone, and that would be all. I hope you did understand.